There's live music from Jim Manley, Mark Fredericks, and the Bistro Bar. Jimmy's on the Park sponsors Cat Neville. Now, we think we have the technology right. Donald Rosenfeld, can you hear me?
Yeah, do you see me?
We can see you. Thanks for joining us via Skype. This Hollywood producer, St. Louisan, is coming out with a brand new movie called Effie Gray. We'll get to that in a second. Donald, where'd you go to high school here in St. Louis?
I started at a place called Country Day School.
Yes.
And went on to Phillips Academy in Andover, and then I came to Vassar College and then NYU Film School.
Vassar? I thought Vassar was a women's college.
That was my trick. It was a very low ratio.
All right, fair enough. You have produced Remains of the Day with Emma Thompson, Tree of Life, Effie Gray. Yes. Emma Thompson wrote this story?
Right. Yeah, I also did Howard's End with Emma Thompson. She won her Oscar on that one. But she wrote this script, and it was a passion for her. She felt that the Victorians were no different than us, and she wanted to prove that.
So Effie Gray opens up April 3rd. Give us the hook.
Yeah, the hook is very simple. An older man by about 22 years who's a genius and a kind of famous art critic marries a young girl from Scotland and makes her life miserable. She fights hard to get out and has really one of the first divorces in England.
And is Dakota Fanning, is she Effie Gray?
She is, and that's a great story because Celestia Fox, who cast the picture, called me and said, I have Dakota Fanning. She's going to do it. I said, isn't she 10 and wasn't she just kidnapped in Mexico? And she's like, that was 7 years ago. It's a long time in a child's life. But this is her first adult role. This is her first title role, and she's magnificent in it.
How do you go get financing for this? Because we only hear Hollywood likes big bang-em-up, shoot-em-up movies and sort of superheroes. How do you go about making a movie like this?
I've been very tricky all these years by living in New York and avoiding Hollywood. What I do is I make the movie with private equity that I raise, and then we sell it to Hollywood afterwards.
And so Hollywood will buy it and enjoy it, but they won't be there in the beginning.
They like to make sure that they don't have risk. So this movie's too risky for them. But once it's done, they love it because it has incredible production values. And I make them for a good price because we don't take fees. We make sure the actors take less. All of us are doing it for the love of the project, but then we own the profit and we own the negatives. We own the copyright. And Hollywood services it as a distributor, and they get a reduced fee, but they have no risk, and they get the glory of all the Oscars and nominations and awards. So it makes them look good.
But it isn't like you're in the soup lines. You're doing quite well with these movies. These movies have an audience out there.
Oh, yeah, there's an audience out there. I mean, the audience for these movies is I would say, not the young guys who are playing their video games that Hollywood's trying to get off their video games. But, we're not going for the Xbox crowd. But everybody else loves these movies. We transport them in time. It's a time machine. We recreate history. We go back, and we do it. In this movie, we go from Venice in 1850 to the Western Isles of Scotland to London and all sorts of beautiful places in and around England and Wales. It's an incredible journey.
How do you go and recreate Venice from the 1850s?
We go to Venice. Luckily, Venice is still about 1650. It hasn't changed that much. So, and it was pretty ravaged in 1850 by war. The Austrians had invaded, so it can look a little broken down. But we had the help in Venice of a incredible group of people who got us into places that have never been filmed before. The Ducal Palace, which was always a sacred site where the doges, controlled the city, and we shot there. We shot in a lot of private homes. Basically, Venice was open to us. It was incredible.
The movie is called Effie Gray, opens up April 3rd. The name Effie Gray, that's an interesting name to call the movie.
Yeah, it was her name. And part of them, there's a great scene where Emma talks to one of the butlers who works for the Ruskins, said, Effie says, well, thank you, George. He said, well, actually, my name is John, but they couldn't have two Johns in the house, so they renamed me. And so it's all about getting her name back. So we gave her maiden name, which is Effie Gray.
There you go.
And by the end of the movie, she's no longer Effie Ruskin.
Donald Rosenfeld, St. Louisan film producer, lives in New York now. His new movie, Effie Gray, written by Emma Thompson. He's got a great track record. Remains of the Day, Howard's End, among many of his films. Donald, you're always welcome here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I hope we see you soon. Creve Coeur Cinema, go there.
There you go. Thank you. April 3rd. Effie Gray, Donald Rosenfeld, doing all right for himself, St. Louisan.
Yeah.
All right, good.
He's not a slacker.
It is 9 o'clock. Hope Solo, the best female goalie in the world, joins us next. 9 o'clock, KTR St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Doug Limerick. No specifics expected, but U.S. and American negotiators likely to announce a general agreement, Iranian negotiators, on Iran's nuclear